Okay, so in mapping notation, this is my new x. So I could say that x dash equals ax plus b, and y dash equals the new y, cy plus d. Since this equation is in terms of x and y, I could rearrange this for x and then substitute wherever x is and rearrange this for y. So let's do that. In this example here, x dash is going to equal 3x minus 1, which means x dash plus 1 divided by 3 will be x. And y dash equals minus 2y plus 2, so y dash minus 2 divided by negative 2 will equal y. So I started with y equals a sine of x, and what I'm going to have instead is, instead of y, I've got minus a half y dash minus 2 equals the sine of, instead of x, I've got x dash plus 1 divided by 3, which means y dash minus 1 equals negative 2 sine of 1/3 x plus 1, and that y equals negative 2 sine 1/3 x plus 1 in bracket plus 1 is the new rule for this after this transformation. So looking at question 2, x dash equals y, so obviously we have some sort of reflection over the line y equals x, and y dash equals minus 2x, and we have a reflection and a dilation. Minus a half y dash. Okay, so my y, I'm going to write x dash, and instead of x I'm going to write minus a half y dash, and then I've got plus 1, because x equals this, so wherever x is I'm going to write that instead. So x dash equals minus 3 on 2 y dash plus 1, which means minus 3 on 2 y dash equals x minus 1, so that y equals minus 2/3 x minus 1, which could be written as that, or minus 2/3 x plus 2/3. There's my answer. And looking at the last example, might pick a different colour and we might go over here. X dash equals x minus 2, which means x equals x dash plus 2, and y dash equals 2x plus 1, which means that, so y dash equals 2y plus 1, which means y dash minus 1 multiplied by a half will be what y equals. So my equation y equals x squared minus x plus 1 becomes a half y dash minus 1 equals x becomes x plus 2 squared minus x dash plus 2 plus 1. And that's x squared, that's a 2 there, plus 4x plus 4 minus x minus 2 plus 1, which is x squared plus 3x 4 minus 2 plus 3, is a half y dash minus 1. Y dash minus 1 equals 2x squared plus 6x plus 6. And when the 1 goes over, that gives me my new rule of y equals 2x squared plus 6x plus 7 as being the final answer. So we're using this idea that this is what x dash is and this is what y dash is, and that wherever x appears and wherever y appears we're going to replace it, but we do a little rearrangement first.